the very right-wing and sort of almost extreme policies, particularly around sort of the refugees and asylum seekers to Rwanda. It seems sort of headline grabbing for the sort of lowest common denominator that might vote for the Conservatives.
What's wrong with France? Why have you not stopped in Germany? I don't know. We're a bit of an easy touch here?
I think people don't stop in Germany and France. A lot of it's to do with they've got family ties to the UK and they speak English.
I fully understand that. Ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch. So
I feel we no longer have that democracy.
Really?
We voted Boris Johnson in and he had a major majority. We should have voted him out, not being stabbed in the back.
What do you make of Suella Braverman, do you think?
I think she's doing a good job. I think the Conservatives have messed about far too long on the subject and maybe it may get done.
What subject?
Immigration.
I don't really like her at all. I think what she wants to do for immigration isn't very good. I think it's very hypocritical considering someone who is of immigrant background herself, who wants to move forward for take people out to Rwanda, and she wants to bypass people who have immigrated here before Brexit. I think it's really bad, yeah.
I sort of put a bit of a peg on my nose this time round through, there wasn't really anybody else I felt would benefit myself or B, my local area. Other than that, no, this time round I think we've got a good Prime Minister, and I think things are moving forward in the right direction. So
I worked at Calais for a little while, helping with volunteering for the refugees. So I think she's a sort of opportunist and a not very competent politician.
Obviously, Suella Braverman is the Home Secretary, so she's at the head of a lot of immigration policies, the small boats policies, the Rwanda policies. I just wondered what you made of them.
I totally agree, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. I do feel sorry for people in that position, and I'm sure that if I was in that position, I'd try my best to better myself and for my family. As it is, for our own country, and I spend a lot of time in Europe as well, and I've seen the influx of things that have happened there, and I think we need a sort of people coming here and working and paying their taxes and coming legitimately. I've got no problems with whatsoever, but when you are genuinely a migrant through economic reasons, that's you can apply to come. You don't just, the Channel is a very dangerous place, busiest shipping lane in the world. What's wrong with France? Why have you not stopped in Germany? I don't know. We're a bit of an easy touch here?
I think people don't stop in Germany and France. A lot of it's to do with they've got family ties to the UK and they speak English.
I fully understand that. Ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch. So.
But I don't like politicians, really.
Really?
Yeah.
Why not?
Because of the money they earn and what they do and the reasons they do it for. I don't think it's all genuine. I find everybody hard to believe at the moment. Yeah.
Who do you find hard to believe?
Everybody.
Everybody?
Yeah. No matter where you phone, and they'll just say things off the top of their head to just keep you quiet, shut you up, and I think that's what everyone does.
The very right-wing and sort of almost extreme policies, particularly around sort of the refugees and asylum seekers to Rwanda. It seems sort of headline grabbing for the sort of lowest common denominator that might vote for the Conservatives.
How much of a priority for you is immigration as a policy?
Well, that was the reason for Brexit. People got fed up with it and Brexit was the way out, as well as the EU. So I suppose the Brexit was the biggest problem which we came out of, and the Brexit was about immigration. And since Brexit, they have failed to resolve the problem. And that's my opinion of it. Yeah.
Are they not two separate issues? In terms of Brexit was about EU economic migration, and small boats is about refugees.
I think you'll find our generation, my generation, were more on immigration than the EU. A lot of people didn't want to be in the EU, voted to come out, but the biggest thing was immigration. And that's it.
Things to me as a father of probably like young children and stuff like that is things of, I think of like a country that we work in, or that we're in at the moment, where we're supposed to be part of like the G7, and our economy is in the news at the moment as being one of the worst. I get emails while I was on annual leave last week from my dentist saying my dentist is closing and I can't find a dentist for me and my children at the moment. And you think about the current country that we are supposed to be in, and I can't find a dentist. So to answer your question, people that can sort the day-to-day stuff out, to be honest.
I think it's interesting that the government is making a big stink about refugees and small boats, whereas for you said you can't find a dentist. I think that's probably a much more important thing to you than small boat policy.
To be honest, I feel for the people, the small boat policy, and obviously a lot of it came to attention, didn't it, a few weeks ago when Gary Lineker kicked off about it, and obviously said some things, and to be honest, Gary Lineker's been very public, hasn't he? He's had refugees in and staying with him, and he's done bits and pieces like that, and I believe that if, especially more becoming a father, that I think that if people can move and better themselves, then we should be in a position to be able to help them. And I do think we should be able to help. However, we need to look sometimes inside before we look to extend the olive branch outside. And that's not me saying close borders or do anything like that at all, but what it is saying is we need to make sure that if we're welcoming people, and we can look after everybody to a significant level. And I don't feel like we can do that at the moment.
So you don't have a lot of trust in the political system at the moment?
Not at all, no. Oh, no.
Has there been anything in particular that's betrayed the trust for you?
It's their wealth. It's their wealth, and how many people are going without, and the politics and the rules and the things they come up with to keep them earning and taking in so much money.
Why do you think the Conservative Party is making a big song and dance about the small boats?
Well, probably because it's in their nature, because that's where the Tory MP is, and also because it might be a vote winner, because, you know, unfortunately this country voted Brexit, and which personally I think was inspired by slight racism.
Baroness Varsi, who's the ex-chairman or chairperson of the Conservative Party, described Suella Braverman as racist yesterday. She's a Muslim woman describing another woman of colour as racist. Would you agree that Suella Braverman is racist?
Yeah, I would, yeah. Because she's being not very nice to people from other races. It doesn't make a difference there.
You said off camera that you think Boris Johnson was stabbed in the back by the Conservative Party.
Yes.
Why do you think that?
We have a democracy, supposed to have a democracy. I feel we no longer have that democracy.
Really?
We voted Boris Johnson in, and he had a major majority. We should have voted him out, not being stabbed in the back. Boris had his faults, but he was getting things done. And that's the way I feel. I have also never going to vote in another election.
Really?
No, because of it. Because democracy is gone. And that's my opinion. I can't see why elected MPs who are elected by the constituents could not just do the job for the constituents instead of stabbing the Prime Minister in the back. It wasn't perfect, but none of them are.